What's the first thing you think about when you hear the word sentient? If you said the super secret National Reconnaissance Office's machine learning data analysis program, whose objective is to predict where targets of interest, including UFOs, will appear around the globe, so that satellites can be aimed at these locations before the target's arrival so that they can collect images of these targets, then you're gonna love this video. Because thanks to attorney at law Clint Ehrlich, who recently announced that he'll provide free legal representation to UFO whistleblowers, and who has already been approached by multiple credible whistleblowers, some of which are presenting allegations related to crash retrievals. And Clint may have connected the dots that link David Grush to the NRO's Sentient program, as well as to satellite imagery of a Tic Tac shaped UAP, and to another mysterious object in the vicinity of this Tic Tac that might have been commanding it. Let's get into this Twitter thread. It appears that in 2021, David Grush was the acting chief of the Operations Center for the NRO. And it should be noted that the NRO has a larger budget than the CIA. David Grush was also responsible for the president's daily brief from the NRO. And I speculate that at least one of those meetings had something to do with the Sentient program, a program that predicts the future locations of targets of interest, similar to how the precogs were able to predict crime in Minority Report. And guess what? Sentient has a machine learning model that's devoted to spotting UAPs. And we know that it spotted a 30-foot Tic Tac shaped UAP over an unidentified ocean on May 6, 2021. And we know this because of a briefing that was pried out of the NRO by the chicken grillin', FOIA filing, one-man band of the Black Vault, John Greenwald, who also obtained an internal NRO background slide that indicates that the Tic Tac shaped object was not a sensor artifact, and that it appeared in multiple satellite images. And this detection was shared with the UAP task force for further analysis. But this Tic Tac, much like the 2004 Tic Tac, was not alone. It appears that it had notable company. While no friendly correlating air or maritime tracks were present at the time of the 2021 Tic Tac detection, there was a notable vessel of high interest about 25 kilometers to the west. By the way, a vessel is defined as a ship or large boat, so this tells us that something unknown was on the surface of the ocean. Clint then further connects this event to the 2004 Nimitz encounter, pointing out the possible similarities between this high-interest vessel and the object that was just beneath the surface that caused the roiling water that was witnessed by Commander David Fravor. The NRO documents then hint at a possible relationship between the 2021 Tic Tac-shaped object and the vessel of high interest on the ocean's surface, a relationship that the NRO described as command and control, which implies that the vessel of high interest may have been controlling the actions of the Tic Tac object. And is this the same relationship that the Nimitz encounter Tic Tac had with the object that was underwater in 2004? Is this why the Nimitz Tic Tac was observed over the roiling water bouncing around like a ping pong ball in a cup? And don't forget that after Commander Fravor engaged with the Tic Tac, it traveled 60 miles to their cap point within seconds. So the 25-kilometer distance between the two objects described in the 2021 NRO documents is an insignificant distance if this is truly Tic Tac technology. So is this non-human technology? Or, as stated at the end of the NRO's background slide, is it possibly merely coincidental? Go check out all of Clint's thread and think for yourself. But one thing is for sure. Congress needs to demand access to the satellite images that John Ratcliffe and Chris Mellon have been talking about for years.
But frankly, there are a lot more sightings than have been made public. Some of those have been declassified. When we talk about sightings, we're talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots or have been picked up by satellite imagery that frankly engage in actions that are difficult to explain, that movements that are hard to replicate, that we don't have the technology for, or traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without a sonic boom. So in short, things that we are observing that are difficult to explain.